Hello, YouTube. So, funny story. I just did this entire video already, and I did not hit the record button. So, I did like a 30-minute just talking to myself video without hitting the record button. So that I guess that was a practice round. So, I'll try to start over here. Um, I'm in Bradenton, Florida. Um, I was here last year one time, so I kind of remember the spot. I just came from the coast. I've been bicycling a lot, and my plan is just to chill for a couple days. I'm actually pretty tired, physically kind of exhausted, and I also didn't get much sleep last night. So I plan to just kind of chill over the weekend here, and then also plan my next move and figure out what I'm going to do next. So I kind of found this old homeless camp here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that. Kind of found a nice little spot here in the shade, and I got that little metal chair there that I got from the homeless camp. So now I have me a nice little chair I can just chill and sit on. I can tell nobody's been here for a long time because the vegetation's all grown in and stuff. Um, all right, so got some tarps and stuff, a lot of trash, a lot of beer cans. That's one of the major gripes on homeless people, is that they trash areas, and that's understandable. I don't control all homeless people. The only thing I will say is that we all produce a lot of trash. Just some of our trash, most people's trash goes to the landfill, but it's still there. Got some old chairs, old tents. Looks like it's kind of ripped up. Sometimes the law enforcement will come in and slice up the tents when the homeless aren't wanted, which I don't blame them in this instance, because this place is pretty well trashed. One thing about these types of areas, there is plenty of stuff to scavenge. Like I scavenged that chair. There's a barbecue grill here. If I wanted to grill something, I could definitely make use of that. An old little wooden stool in here, a little dog dish. Somebody must have had a pet. It's a pretty sizable tent here. And I'm right by a little lake or pond. So I think I'm going to go down there and show you all the pond. It's pretty nice. A lot of birds and a lot of turtles in the pond. Turtles are not usually a good sign. I think it makes the fishing a little hard because you'll start catching turtles more so than fish. And it's no fun unhooking turtles. I'm right by a Walmart, and I got pretty much every resource I need. There's a Goodwill nearby, a lot of fast food places. There's an apartment complex right over here. But I have a nice little lake view, and this will do. This will be a good enough place for me to chill out. So, I'm doing a video on my backstory, and how I became homeless, basically, or what brought me to this lifestyle. So normal childhood, all-American family, no big deal there. I have two good parents. I have a sister. I got some older half-sisters. But my parents and my sister, and she's got a baby now and a husband, and we all Skype every Tuesday. So every Tuesday I talk with them and let them know where I'm at and what I'm doing, and so that's all good. Went to high school in North Carolina. I was born in Florida. I raised up in Jacksonville, and then moved to North Carolina around middle school. 3-sport athlete, played sports all throughout my childhood and through high school. Was kind of a football star. Went and played Division III football for 1 year. I ended up not liking it. It was at a place called the Apprentice School in Newport News, Virginia. Uh, and I didn't like the area. I didn't like a lot of things. It wasn't like a regular school. It was like an apprenticeship, which basically meant that I was going to be stuck there for my entire life in this area that I did not really like. It's industrial. Um, it's around Norfolk kind of, or Chesapeake Bay area. It's good fishing out there. That's the one good thing about that area that I know of. But yeah, just real industrial and real city and um, just really not for me. I did not like it, and and I wanted to pursue computers back in those days, and I still like computers, and I'm still pursuing computers actually. And so I quit the school to pursue computers, um, and that just didn't really work out. I didn't have the right direction, um, and started delivering pizzas, and I was also selling weed. This is when I was like real young, probably 19 or 20, and I did that for a while. Um, and that was all good. But I just knew I needed to quit all that and go to school. I wanted to become a pharmacist. I felt like you come out of pharmacy school and your starting salary is 100K a year. So I went all in and figured out everything I need to do. And I spent 2 years. I was working full time and going to school full time. I exceeded my expectations. I made 4.0 GPA. I had an 86 percentile on my PCAT, which is pretty good. Um, However, I ended up getting turned down from Kansas University for the pharmacy school, and that really, really crushed me. I was kind of like the number one student in the class. I was the guy that everybody goes to for help on their homework and stuff. It's like, for help on their chemistry equations and their lab work, and I was that guy. I was the kind of the nerd um, that everybody goes to, and I was the best student in my particular class. Yet the other students were getting in, and I got rejected. And it turns out that uh, Kansas University, along with nationwide, they were accepting around 80% female. And I just did not understand that. I assumed it was maybe because they pay them less or something. I just, but I think that that's what kind of was the reason why I didn't get in. And I just didn't, I just felt like society was fucked up, man. Why would you not want the best student in the class to be your doctor? Uh, why reject? There was another white guy who had a 4.0 GPA. And he had a 99 percentile on his PCAT. Literally, you cannot do better than a 99 percentile, especially when um, your your competition is pharmacy school applicants. So everybody who's a pharmacy school applicant is pretty sharp, and he did better than everyone. I did an 86, which is pretty darn good. And that was my first time taking it. I only took it one time. You can take it as many times as you want. So I probably could have improved my score. But basically, I was young and I didn't understand, and I felt like society was against me. And I ended up uh, getting 2 DUIs that month after I got rejected. I just really was depressed, suicidal, I just don't care anymore. Didn't care, and I basically kind of ruined my life there a little bit. But I'm not. I don't think it actually ruined my life. I think it was all for the best. I think everything happens for a reason, and I'm very happy now. So I think everything. I could have been. I could be in a pharmacy today, just pushing pills and just hating my life or something. I mean, I don't know if I would have liked that or not. But so uh, I ended up waiting tables. I had been waiting tables throughout college anyway. I just resorted to waiting tables full time, and I had to pay legal fees. 2 DUIs. It's just an extreme amount of punishment. Um, and Yeah, a lot of legal fees, like $3,000 just in lawyer fees, and I was, I was, you know, that just put me in a bad place, I guess. So waiting tables and waiting tables sucks. Anybody who's wait tables will tell you it sucks. You go out there, it's kind of a mind fuck because you got to be all happy and hey, how is everybody? Great, awesome. What can I get for you? And but really, it sucks, because you're stressed. It's people, a lot of good people, a lot of bad people, and it just wears on you, especially after a long time. It's actually fun at first. Um, I can actually do it today and it'll be fun, but a month or two down the road, I'll hate it. I'll just be tired of it. Don't want to do it anymore. Um, so I was always trying to find something else to do. Um, I got into that was when like the survival shows were coming out. You know, Survivor Man versus Wild, Dual Survival, or whatever. And I was just all in. I just loved that kind of thing, and I just decided, I'm going to leave society, and I'm going to go out in the wilderness. I'm going to grow weed, and I'm going to live off the land. And so that's what I did. I quit my job, and I lasted about a week, and I was like starving, and I caved, man. I had to call my mom and dad, have them pick me up. I had to go crawling back, get my job back. It was humiliating. I was young and dumb. That was really stupid. You're not going to live off the land very easily. It's just not feasible. I mean, it's possible, and people do it, but it's just not. There's the loneliness factor as well. Is you're better off in like a community. Even our ancestors were in a tribe of some sort, and they had a community, and the women did the cooking and the basket weaving, and the men went out and did the hunting, and there was a way things worked, and you were taught from a young age how to live off the land. You were taught which plants to eat and which ones are not. We weren't taught that kind of stuff. We were taught mathematics and all this other stuff, English and grammar. Oh, that might be a gator. I can't tell. Um, so sorry. Where was I? Yeah, so failed miserably, crawling back, get my job back, started waiting tables again. Then I ended up getting into poker. I found out poker was something I was good at. I got to the point where I was making $15 an hour online playing poker, and so that was good enough for me. I quit my job and I just started playing poker full time. Um, and then Black Friday happened, which was known in the poker world as when the government came in and took over all the online poker sites and shut them down. So once again, I felt like society was coming down on me. I finally was getting happy, enjoying what I was doing, and here comes Uncle Sam telling me, no, 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 you're not going to do that. And I didn't understand. I mean, it's allowed in Europe, and here it is, an American game. It's the most American game there is, Texas Hold'em. Um, it's a great game. It's like chess. It's a game of intelligence and mathematics, and it literally teaches you so much about life and how to make good decisions. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a gator. But yeah, they shut it all down, and it's still illegal to this day for the most part. A few states have it legalized now. I might get back into it one day, actually, but that actually might be might be what I need to do is wait for it to get legal. Sorry, I just like if I try to show you, you're not going to see it because my camera sucks. But I'll try. I'm not even 100% it's a gator, but there's something floating across the water there. I'm not entirely sure. Um, so, yeah, played poker. The government shut it all down. Once again, I had to go back to waiting tables. Waited tables again. Um, did that for several years. Got to the point where I was working two jobs. I was waiting tables like 70 hours a week, which is nuts at two busy restaurants. I had a breakfast place and a night place, and they were both slam busy every night. And I guess I was just sort of tortured myself for some reason. There's no sense in working two waiting tables jobs. But I was living out of my truck and working two waiting tables jobs, and I figured I don't need a place to stay because I'm always working. And then I just crashed in the back of my truck, and then I had a gym membership, so I went and got my showers in the morning at the gym and shaved and went right back just every single day, like literally 7 days a week, working all day long, and ended up burning me out. That's the problem with it, is you end up getting burnt out. And I quit the first one because I was dating the manager's daughter, and there were some issues there. The manager started giving me trouble. So I quit that one, and the other one I was drinking before my shift and just had too many, and just decided not to show up, not to go in, and just kept on drinking, and and quit that job too. I had a bunch of money saved up, so I said screw it, and uh, got into scrap metal. Tried to do scrap metal, didn't really work out. Didn't make enough money. I was basically breaking even at it. I worked hard at it and tried hard, just didn't work out. Then I did a lawn service that was successful, did good at that. Problem is in North Carolina, the hot, humid summers, I'm not cut out for that kind of heat. Mexicanos, they can wear long sleeves, long pants, hat, boots, and they can go out there all day long and not even sweat. I was just dying. I came home with heat exhaustion every single day, pounding headache, and just couldn't do it in the heat. I loved actually lawn service. I loved mowing lawns when it was cool and when it wasn't hot. And that was making good money doing that. But so that didn't, but I did save a bunch of money, and I decided, well, I've never been to the West Coast, so I'm going to travel across the country to the West Coast, and never experienced legalized weed, and never been into like a store where I can just have all these kind of awesome kinds of weed and everything, and the concentrates and the edibles, and so drove out to Oregon, did all that. Um, traveled down. It was beautiful out there, by the way, in Oregon. Traveled down California, went all the way down to the Southern California deserts. Um, went back up to Las Vegas. I stayed in Las Vegas for a couple months, just living out of my truck. Um, and the whole time I was really that 2 months in Las Vegas. All I could think about was going backpacking, getting rid of the truck, and setting out on foot. And so I drove up to Oregon, sold my truck, and I decided I was going to go out into the Oregon mountains and try to grow some weed. And I got the weed plant started, but then there was a huge black bear uh, that kept fucking with me and kept fucking with my plants. He would like tip them over, put claw marks in the cups. He came up on me one time, and he was a big boy, big boy, and scared the shit out of me. I was literally sleeping on the ground with no tent or nothing, right in this big black bear roaming around, and so I got the hell out of there. And went back to waiting tables. I found a job in Oregon, waiting tables out in the mountains at a mountain resort, and it was actually a really good job. Beautiful place in the mountains. They had an employee campground, which was perfect for me because I like camping, and I didn't have a place to stay. So I did that, and I did it the next summer as well. However, it got real smoky with the fires going on, all the Oregon fires, and that smoke gives you a pounding headache every single day. And management that year didn't know what they were doing, and it was just a total shit show at the restaurant, and it became super stressful. And that combined with the smoke, I just decided to quit and get out. One thing about me is if I'm not happy, I'm going to change it. I'm going to change something. Um, so I left, went back to North Carolina, and decided to go down to Florida here, and this is where I'm at. And I've run out of money, and so now I'm panhandling a couple times a week. I don't need much money just a couple bucks a day. So really, I could panhandle for about 2 hours a week, and then I'm good to go. That's all I really need. I just put up a sign, traveling. Anything helps, and people help. And that's just what I'm doing for the moment. I've tried all sorts of things to try to make money on the road. I've done odd jobs. I will pick up work whenever I can. I'll pick up like temporary work. I won't get like an actual job, but just like somebody offers me some, to go help them clean out their garage or something, I'll do it. Um, you know, but I'm always looking for something else. I was thinking maybe I can get into computers. I'm good at graphic design. I'm good at I don't know if I'm good at web design, but I can do it. I just need to practice it more, I guess. I'd like to maybe get into programming. So anything that I can do over the internet and travel. So my biggest thing is I like to travel. I like to be free, and that's the main thing. Just be free and travel, and have no worries, and live stress free, and be happy, I guess. And um, so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I like the fact that I can go anywhere I want, on a whim. I don't really plan too far ahead. I guess I kind of generally know what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna go to Central Florida now, but if I just decided I want to go to Miami, I just get up and go. I don't have to. There's no planning I have to do. I just pretty much get up and get out there, and I'm not spending all day in lines at the DMV or the license plate agency. I'm not, paying bills and working 40 hours, and coming home to spend the whole time cleaning the bathroom and um, cleaning the kitchen, and just literally I can actually, I'm totally free. Just a little birdie there. Not sure if y'all can see him. Surprised he's coming that close. Um, so yeah, just trying to live free, be happy. I'm tired of all the society's bullshit. I don't. I'm just trying to avoid it. They say this is the greatest country on the planet, and I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it is though either. Or it's certainly not perfect, and it's certainly fucked up. I think everybody can agree it's certainly fucked up in some area. Everybody has to agree in some way it's fucked up. And there's just a lot of fucked up shit, and just trying to avoid the fucked up bullshit. This is the best way to avoid it for me. Is totally get off the system. Totally, I just don't have a worry in the world. I mean, the worst thing I got to worry about is maybe trespassing, and if I get locked up for a few days or a month or whatever it is, I don't know. Had no clue what trespassing will get you. I try not to trespass, but there's, once again, one of the fucked up things about this country is everything's private. It's all private land everywhere you go. And I have more of a Native American philosophy on land, um, where I just don't see how you can just say, "Oh, I own all this," and slap up all these known trespassing signs, and then nobody can ever go in and enjoy that land. But that's the way it is. And just get their as we speak, they're selling off all the public lands, and even the public lands. They have city ordinances and stuff with no trespassing signs. Um, so the trespass, like I said, I'm willing to fight for my lifestyle, and that's kind of where I have to make a stand. I don't like breaking laws, but I try to avoid to. But end of the day, I'm gonna live free or die trying, I guess, or go to jail trying. Um, like I say, even if I go to jail, it's not like I have to worry about some job that I'm going to lose my job. I go because I'm going to jail. No, I just go in there and sit and do my time. And it's kind of unfortunate that taxpayers have to pay for me to go, $60 a day to sit in a cage. But hopefully I can avoid it, and I've avoided it so far, except for my DUIs about 15 years ago. But And as far as trespassing, as long as there aren't no trespassing signs, I should be okay. But I just don't trust it. I don't trust anything. Maybe there's a rusted old no trespassing sign that I didn't see somewhere, and they say, "Well, there was a sign," and they take me in. Um, so it's I pretty much just use common sense. Um, and try to be nice to law enforcement, very respectful. Um, and at the same time, you got to know your rights as well in this country, because law enforcement will be deceitful towards you. They will lie just to get you to uh, admit that you're doing something wrong. And so you got to know your rights, and you got to be careful with them. But at the same time, just try to be friendly, because I don't want them to. They have the power, and who's going to give a shit if I go to jail? Nobody. So, and not like the homeless are the most defenseless people out here. We don't have any lawyers or nothing, so we're very easy targets. Although I don't think that law enforcement's going after us that badly right now. I think they go after the money people a little bit, like the speeding tickets, because that's how they make their money. It's all about the money in this country. And that's my things. I am not about money. I you know, I understand the need for it, I guess, but we obviously live in a capitalistic society here, and I believe we need rules in a capitalistic society. Uh, you can't just let it run amok. Well, I think we'd all end up just being shackles. Just literally like doing slave work if it was like total free capitalism. You just got to have some limitations and rules on it. I'm sure it's a good thing in that it provides competition. Like I said, these are complicated issues and subjects, and I don't claim to know it all. Um, but I think the good middle ground is kind of a socialist country with basically capitalism with some rules. That's basically what we have anyway. That's what this is. And I guess we're just constantly changing the rules, tweaking them, fixing them, and just trying to make things better for whoever. Usually, we're making things better for those with the money, because they're the ones, um, got the power. You got money, you got power. And there's just so much ridiculous bullshit. Just as an example, would be our taxes. As far as they're just unbelievably complicated. I think everybody knows that. And the reason why they're complicated is because H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, Liberty Tax, the online tax software, they all have a lobby in Washington, and they lobby to keep the tax code complicated simply so they can make money and have jobs. If they made it easy, there would be no reason for them. So it's just senseless. It's senseless. We have to deal with complicated taxes just so somebody can make a buck. You got the politicians making a buck, and you got the H&R Block people making a buck, when there's no sense in having it all that complicated. So, just no thank you. I don't want to deal with that shit no more. I'm tired of it. So this is why I choose the lifestyle I'm choosing. This is my backstory, and this is happiest I've ever been. I've gone. I might suffer through some mild depressions in my life. I think I got family that suffers depression, so I think I do have some depression issues. But this is just as happy as I've ever been, and I'm just going to keep on going and um, keep on figuring out what the hell am I doing here. What the hell are we all doing here? What is our purpose? What is this world that we all live in, and this crazy place? It's fucking nuts. um, and I don't know if there's an answer to that. The Buddhists say that we're here to seek enlightenment. And that's the best answer I've heard, because that's just what I do naturally. I sit around and I just ponder, I think. I'm an observer, you know, uh, like, uh, oh man, sorry. What's his name? The old comedian, George Carlin said that, um, when being born on this planet, you get a ticket to the freak show, and here in America, you get a front row seat. Okay, and that's just what it is. I sit back and watch the freak show. I watch all the craziness. I watch the people. I watch what they do. I watch how they operate. Uh, I try not to judge. I just sit back and watch it all and ponder and try to figure out what my purpose is, and um, try to figure, that's basically where I'm at right now. So, okay, I probably didn't, I'm probably forgetting to mention something. I feel like I did a better video the first time, but what are you going to do? All right, guys, until next time, peace out.